On Thursday, the 2nd of June 2022, marks the closing and graduation ceremony of the United States Consulate Mentoring and Leadership Program for Young Nigerian Leaders, organized by the Mandela Washington Fellowship Alumni Association of Nigeria, which took place at the Ikeja American Corner in Lagos. On February 23, 2022, the Mandela Washington Fellowship Alumni Association of Nigeria launched a mentoring and leadership program aimed at teaching participants skills and resources they need to accelerate their careers and contribute more robustly to strengthening good governance, promoting disability rights, and creating opportunities in their communities.
I tell their stories everywhere I go. And even though this is a country of 200 million, if you think about those 9,000 spread around the country and each doing their part, really the ripple effect is massive. I'm so proud of MWFAAN for taking on this project. Like Ahmed said, we had this meeting last year. We recognized maybe there was a lack of cohesion between all the arms of YALI. And we heard loud and clear from YALI Network that they want to do more. They want to be more engaged. They need mentorship. And really, it was a huge group of people that we were somehow leaving out. They were out there doing good things, but we weren't so connected to them, and we weren't maybe giving them the support they needed. And so we all listened. We had this wonderful meeting. But after that meeting, we went back to the office and we got on to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And that's how it is for most of us. We're so busy, we're doing so much that's like you have a meeting, you have great ideas, and then nothing happens. But little did I know that the MWFAAN took it very seriously. And they really, honestly, they did something not a lot of people do. They listened, and then they took real action to make it happen. And they didn't come to us and ask for money. It's not that we don't like when our alumni ask for money, but there are things you can do for free. And they did it on their own. And that makes me even more proud that they took what they heard, they did the right thing, and they did it on their own.
So I go to Lagos State University and I make a first class. So I graduate top of my class, top of my department, top of my faculty, best student in the Faculty of Social Science, third best student overall in the university. I go on to do a master's degree in psychology, go on to do a PhD, teaching at a university currently. And so it's easy for you to think that I did it by myself. I went through all of that adversity and now I'm successful and so I'm self-made. But there's no such thing as self-made. Nothing of significance has ever been achieved by an individual. This lie that we tell ourselves is not true, and so that's the thesis of this conversation. Leading through relationships. I could name several instances throughout my journey, where people, in very subtle or direct ways, were instrumental to my success.
Mentoring is a process for the informal transmission of knowledge, social capital, and the psychological support perceived by the recipient as relevant to work, career, or professional development. Mentoring also entails informal communication, usually face-to-face over a sustained period of time between the mentor and mentee. And the Mandela Washington Fellowship for Young African Leaders Initiative and its Alumni Association in Nigeria has deployed mentoring as a tool to bring in about 5,100 young leaders from every country in sub-Saharan Africa to the United States for academic and leadership training.
Mentorship in the United States is something that's really ingrained in our culture. We have internships, we have mentorships. It's something that you don't even think about because it's just there. People are willing to be mentors. Every place takes interns. But I realize here through conversations, it's not as big as a part of the culture as it is in the United States. But for our exchange program alumni, it is a big deal. When you go to the US, you meet people that become your mentors and they change your life. And so I've always thought that our alumni are the perfect people to become mentors when they come back here. So I really do love this program so much. I've seen so many people flourish under a good mentor because you need someone that's maybe walked that path already. With another program we have, the Academy for Women Entrepreneurs, We have a group of women who are returned illegal or irregular migrants. They come back from Libya. The stories they tell you will like bring you to tears. They had terrible, very, very terrible experiences. But then they get paired with a mentor. They start believing in themselves. They start having someone who's guiding them. I can't even tell you. I saw them a year ago, and then I saw them last week. I didn't recognize any of them. They are confident, well-spoken, successful businesswomen. So it really changes people's lives. I'm really excited to hear about the relationships that are formed. I know that those relationships will continue. Those can be your lifelong mentors. So thank you again to the mentors who participated, but also to the mentees. I know you're thinking, you're still a mentee, you have a mentor, but it's like you're never too like not far along your journey to start taking on a mentee yourself, because there's always somebody below you that needs help. So I really hope that you, from what you get from this, you start taking on mentees of your own, and this starts continuing and becoming more and more a part of the culture.
Think mental illnesses, think wars. No one individual will fix that. Relationships are important. That's the whole essence of the mentorship program. Shout out to Mr. President and his team, and of course the US Consulate for supporting this program, because that's the whole essence, is building those relationships to help us grow, help one another grow, help us make progress on challenges facing not just us, but our country at large. And one thing about this class of people was that they also attended all the seminars, all the, speaker series program we organized, the celebration of, the Women's Day celebration that we had speakers come to speak, the disability day. They attended everything, this class of people. So it shows that they are committed. And I hope that someday you'll be on this side too, where you'll be Mandela Washington Fellows, or even some even bigger fellowships. So the Mandela Washington Fellowship is a prestigious fellowship by the U.S. State Department that invests in young African leaders, trying to help them develop leadership capacity. And so they bring African leaders from here and take them to the U.S. for 6 weeks and train them and help them develop their leadership skills. And then they come back and then impact the country positively. So myself, I'm a Mandela Washington Fellow alumni. I did the fellowship in 2017 at Kansas State University. And I'm back now as an alumni of the program to give back to the country. I'm privileged to serve as a mentor within the organization, helping other young change makers in the country develop their leadership capacity and create impact in their communities. The association is Mandela Washington Fellowship Alumni Association. It's an association that brings Mandela Washington Fellows after their program in the U.S. together to further, to further work together to impact themselves and impact their community. So Mandela Washington Fellowship is the fellowship for Africans who are between the age of 25-35, doing fantastic things, whether in the civic leadership space, business and entrepreneurship track, or public management.
Some of the mentors gave an account of the experience they had with the mentee assigned to them and the value the Mandela Washington Fellowship has brought to the career prospect of the participants. The mentees as well stated the impactful nature of the mentoring program and promised to play mentoring role in their local communities.
So I think my role as a mentor was just basically providing capacity building skills for my mentee. The truth of the matter is there's always a gap around transiting from one professional experience to another, and sometimes we don't really understand how to work that out, and that's basically one of the reasons why this program was established. So basically my role was to provide insights to my mentee on how best practices on how to build her career, how to build her growth in terms of the project that she's into. My mentee is an educator. What she does is that she provides capacity building training to educators in her community. So she comes from a community here in Lagos where she gets low-income private school owners to come together and learn on 21st century skills that they could transfer to children, inclusive of children with disability, which is something that I do is as part of my organization, a core part of my organization. So one of the things I really saw very interesting in this mentorship was providing her insights on how she could transfer that knowledge and enable that knowledge active role in terms of, helping these teachers teach the students the right learning, the right alternatives learning, and all of these skills so that we can have future leaders that will be building up Nigeria. So that's basically one of the things that, the summary of the relationship we fostered in the mentorship program.
And I was opportune to be selected as one of the mentors of the Mandela Washington Fellowship Program in conjunction with the Yali Network. And we had a lot of young people doing amazing work in the program. So I mentored 5 of them. So the first thing we did was to create a WhatsApp group where we could interact better. We had opportunities for networking program. We created our personal goals and objectives. We challenged ourselves with the book of the month to read. And we also tried to improve our public speaking skills. I'm a Toastmaster, and I invited them to one of the sessions for the Toastmaster. And my biggest takeaway from this program has been the relationship that we have cultivated. And I hope that even though this is the closing ceremony, we are not closing this relationship. It would continue, and we can, we can rub off on one another.
During this mentorship program, it was a life-changing one because I was able to discover more of myself. I'm someone who don't always believed in talking in public. So during this program, my mentor was able to help me understand how to talk very well in public, and that was able to even give me an opportunity to gain my first speaking opportunity as a guest speaker in one of the programs organized by a teachers network, where I was able to guide other teachers on how to build themselves professionally.
Okay, so my mentee's name is Helen Ozioma, and Helen is such a fantastic educator. One of the things that she learned from me is knowing how to assess grants, using that grants to build projects. She also learned how to make effective decision making. She learned things around networking, collaboration, project management. Just imagine all of these skills wrapped together, and then she's using those skills to, transfer those skills to other educators like her in her community. So that's basically how the program has been. And I'm so happy and grateful because this has gone beyond mentorship. Now we're long-lasting friends, and I look forward to working with her in the future, seeing her success stories, seeing her become a great leader, and just unleashing the great potentials to be, one of the best here in Nigeria.
Okay, the mentorship program was actually a very laudable one. I must commend the effort of the president, Mr. Ahmed, and all the team members for pairing me with a very wonderful personality, Mrs. Enobong Udo, who is based in Ibadan. I'm also from Ibadan, and she has brought me into the limelight of knowing more about my field, the educational aspect. And also, she has impacted me with several resources, human resources, personal resources, financial resources for my programs and for my NGO. She has connected me with people like Emeka Osai of Campus Lab, who is also into the line I am into presently, which has also improved my way of presenting myself outside the world and also giving me resources to which I can leverage upon.
Unlike the West, mentoring in Africa and Nigeria is still new and in its early stage. It is said that academic and career mentoring enables the mentees to avoid unnecessary mistakes in their professional journey. Oyipriye Krumale, Impact Television News.